Hi everyone, welcome back to Haley K Studio. I'm Haley and I like to share tutorials on Procreate for beginners or anybody that wants to try a new style here in Procreate. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple straight repeat pattern, and I'm also going to show you a drop pattern. And I'll be using a stamp brush from my Kawaii Essentials brush set and drawing kit, which is available in my Etsy shop. So if you want to draw along with me, you can click the link in the description box down below and get that for yourself. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing more tutorials like this one, hit that subscribe button and I'll keep sharing these fun tutorials with you. So let's dive in and get started on creating these really cool patterns. So to begin, I am starting with a simple canvas that is 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels, and it is set to 300 dpi. I like to stay in that 2048 pixels range. I know it's kind of like a random number, but I feel like it gives the best resolution, and I make a lot of Procreate stamp brushes, and that for me has created the best result in resolution. So to create this pattern, I am going to use a simple image that is based off of one of the stamp brushes in that Kawaii Essentials brush set. And I have chosen this rainbow here. It's called the Rainbow 1 Fluffy, and that refers to the rough edge that it has. And I am going to choose this darkest brown that is in the Kawaii color palette that comes with that brush set. And I will be filling in the image as well with other colors from that brush set. So we'll go ahead and place our rainbow and center it. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and center it a little bit more. And I am going to color fill this. So I'm just going to stay within this layer and choose colors from this palette and just drop them in. And can't see that the white one in, but there it is. And then I'm just going to keep it really simple. There's only 3 colors you can put in this rainbow, so we're just going to keep it really, really simple. Okay, so we've got a blue, orange, and pink rainbow with little white fluffy clouds. And I am going to make a copy of that. So I'm going to duplicate that in case I need to go back to it again later. And now we have our basic image, and we're going to start off with the simple straight repeat. And to do that, I want to be able to maintain this square image. And again, you need to work in squares to create repeat patterns in Procreate. So to maintain that square space in between each of my rainbows in my pattern, I'm going to create a layer. And it doesn't matter what color you use for this, but you do need to drop in a color into that layer. But we're going to get rid of this layer later, but we're going to turn down the opacity because we don't need that color, but we want to be able to see that rainbow behind it just as a guide. And then I will choose the transform tool. And in order to create a repeat pattern that is continuous and doesn't have any gaps, you'll want to go to snapping and turn on magnetics and snapping, and turn distance all the way up to 50 and velocity all the way up. So we've got our snapping set up, and now we can move this around to create our repeat pattern. And when you move this, you will see that these orange lines appear, and that's what we're going to use as our guide. A blue one shows up, but we're not going to use that one as much. We need to focus on the orange guides that appear. But before we move that over, we do want to duplicate this. Move that up, and I'm just going to untoggle those. And I have those selected, and then we're going to move this over, and we want to maintain all 3 orange lines, and we can't really see the top one. It's turned blue, but it is orange up there. So we have our image there moved over, and now we'll just untoggle those. We're going to hide those for a minute, and then we'll select our second layer and move that over to the right and maintain those orange lines. So now we have our rainbow cut in half on opposite ends of our image. So I'm going to take our 2 rainbow halves and flatten them. So I'm just going to click on the group and hit flatten. And I'm just going to move that up, and I'm just going to delete these temporarily and create a new one. Just because it was only half of it. And now I'm going to make a duplicate of this and move that down. And I'm going to create 4 copies of this and just kind of rearrange them a little bit. And I'm going to untoggle all the ones from the bottom and just have these first 2 chosen, and I'm going to move it up to the first 4th quadrant of this square. And then I'm going to turn those off temporarily and then have those next 2 selected and move that up to the 2nd 4th. And then choose the next 2 and then the lower left. And then the next 2 will be the lower right. And then I will just select all of the rainbow halves and then select them that way and then group them together. And then I can just delete these and then flatten those. And so now we're starting to see our repeat pattern of our rainbow here. And you can use this as kind of a larger rainbow pattern in any application that you're wanting to put a straight repeat pattern on. Like it could be from something as small as a foam background to something like you can have your own fabric printed, or you can use this as like an all over pattern from like a dropship company that creates clothing. You can, and it is transparent. We've left this as a transparent image so it can be put on any color fabric as well. So if you want to make this even larger, let's go ahead and make one more set of 4 of these. And then we have our fill color, and we'll make 4 of those just as our guide again, because there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is the way I'm showing you. It's the easiest way to remember how to do it for me. And so I'm going to move those down, and then I like to do it from top down. So we've got the first 2 selected, and I'm going to move this up because this little bar at the bottom kind of gets in my way. And then I'm deselecting them because it creates those blue lines and I can't see the orange lines as well. So I just work one at a time so that I can work with those orange lines that are most important for knowing that we're making a seamless pattern. And then there's the 4th one. And we can just select them all and just select the rainbows, group those together, and then flatten them down, and then just delete the pink color that I chose. And there you have a simple straight repeat. And you can see that even though we have put halves of these rainbows together, there are no gaps in between them. So that is what we're going for. Anytime you are creating a repeat pattern, you don't want to have any gaps in between your picture. So that is the simple straight repeat. That is one of the easier ones to create, and it's still very effective, even though there is a lot of simplicity there. So I'm going to hide that. And next we're going to do a half drop repeat, and it is on a 5 grid. And so that means there's going to be 5 images that make up the square. So to do that, I will duplicate our original rainbow again, and I'm going to put it back into view, and I'm going to move it up to the top. And I do want to make this even slightly smaller and make sure it goes into the exact middle. And I have those orange lines to indicate that it is exactly in the middle. And again, ignoring that blue one that kind of likes to dance around. So we have our main one, but I want to duplicate that 4 more times. So now I have 5. So those are our 5 that are going to be in our square. Bottom one is going to stay in the very center. And then we're going to move these other ones up into the corners. So to do that, we do need that snapping on, and we are looking for those orange lines again to see that it is exactly in that corner. Again, exactly in the corner according to those orange lines. And then watch for those orange lines. and then watch for those orange lines. So now we have our square grid, and we don't need to use a transparent layer for this because these will create a square for us. So what I do want to do is flatten that, save one just in case I need it, and then we can start creating our repeat pattern. So this has already made a square for us, so we can go ahead and just start moving these into the 4 quadrants of our square. So I am going to duplicate this. So I should have 5 of those, but I'm going to work with 4 right now. And then move these up into the corners. And there we have our 5 to a square. And that is a simple drop repeat. We can even merge that down, duplicate it 4 more times, save our main guy just in case, and then move those into the corner. Always looking for those orange lines so that you know there's no spaces in between these. And now that we have this bigger grid of rainbows, we can even do one more really fun thing because it is transparent. Let's make a copy of this guy, 4 more copies of him. So this was the previous one we made, the previous size that we had made. We can even add this to our design. So there is a little bit of overlapping with these 2 patterns put together, but you could simply just cut these out. So now we have an even more varied drop repeat, and it just took a little bit of cleaning up to make a little bit more smooth, but you have even more options when you want to create these drop repeats. And these can maintain a transparency in the back, or you can add a background color to it. But since it is set to 300 DPI, you shouldn't have any trouble using this as a repeat pattern on some sort of physical item that you're printing. So there are 2 really simple repeats that you can use in your designs. You can use it to make something really cute for yourself, depending on what image you use. It could be any style that you want. And if you're wanting to use this image here, again, it is in my Kawaii Essentials brush set and drawing kit. It is one of the stamps included in that drawing kit, as well as the color palette that I used. And that is linked below in my Etsy shop. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe and I will share more with you. And I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.